Now, brothers and sisters, we're going to take I'm going to take you on. This is Black History Month, and so many great things happen here at the temple. So many miracles are performed right in our midst. And I won't begin to tell this story because it is one of the most miraculous things that you could ever imagine. It happened here at the temple. Last Sunday was the next to the last step of a tremendous miracle that took place in our midst. And I'm going to ask our dear sister Allison Manswell to just come and share this with you, because some of you need to hear what God has done and what he can do. Would you give her a hand as she comes, please?
Morning, church family. This is indeed a special place. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story that starts. How many of you remember when the movie Coming to America came out? Okay, but I'm sure you don't remember that movie like I remember that movie. I was absolutely obsessed with this movie. Obsessed. I would go and sit in the theater all day Saturday, and you remember the days when you could just sit and keep watching? That's what I would do. So I came home, I told my mother, oh my God, this movie is so powerful, you gotta come with me, you gotta see this movie. So she comes with me to see the movie, and she says, Allison, it's a cute little funny movie, but it's not that powerful. She said, but I know why you are obsessed with it. And I was planning to tell you this when you turn 21, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now. There's a truth that has never been told, and I'm not sure how telling it will unfold. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you all the story, because it could save someone's life, and to God be the glory. Because there are women out there living in pain, and the lesson of this is sure to gain the ear of someone who needs to know that love shouldn't hurt, and there's always somewhere to go. One night, after yet another beating, this woman had had enough, and she was sure she was leaving. A man who had hit her so many times, her self-worth was down 9 cents less than a dime. How could she be, my mother, a well-respected student nurse, living with a husband whose violence was getting worse? Let me pause here to come out and proclaim that manhood is never measured by degrees of pain. Love is not supposed to hurt, and no one has the right to trample your self-worth. So one night, after she was beaten and left on the bedroom floor to get dressed, she managed to pull herself together and get to the safe home of another student nurse who was having a small celebration, ringing in the new year with the rest of the nation. In the midst of the party, and perhaps after a few beers, she couldn't contain her hurt or even her tears. There she was, battered and bruised, finding herself in the arms of a student doctor whose bedside manner went above and beyond. He was a smart, handsome African doctor of whom she was very fond. A child was conceived from this special union in the midst of the fireworks and the world's celebration. I'm all grown up now, so I understand when a beaten woman is in the arms of a gentle man. And if I don't blame or fault her for regaining her self-esteem, and if this was the shoulder on which she needed to lean, then I'm just very glad that my mother did what she felt she had to do to repair the hurt she'd felt and the losing hand she'd obviously been dealt. Now, I don't think that night turned out so bad, because here I am, and I am glad that I am not who I'm not, but I am who I am, that justice was done and a wife beater got what he got. I don't carry any burden of shame, and I won't allow anybody to dirty her name. My mother did what absolutely needed to be done. Ooh, as far as I'm concerned, her victory was won. I'm not suggesting that every battered woman should cheat, but there's a woman inside of you I want you to meet. A woman who loves herself more than she loves an abusive man, and refuses to allow him to raise his hand. to hit or abuse her in any way, and if he does, it will be the very last day that he enjoys the benefit of her fidelity and love, because abuse is something you can rise above. There are ways to build your self-esteem back up. I know it's not easy. In fact, it's tough. So please let this little story of mine be your reminder that domestic abuse is a crime. Don't be tempted to take justice into your own hands. Just get up and find yourself another man.